of the peer research and researchers, and inappropriate identifications of all the co-authors and conflict of the interest. So what is plagiarism? The important is the plagiarism. Again and again, the importance is plagiarism, because without plagiarism, very easy. We think that, but a lot of the people is doing the plagiarism only. Why? That is, I will explain one by one. So the plagiarism means Latin word is meaning as kidnapping. It is intellectual theft. So it is a series of scientific misconduct. So where is actually the plagiarism start means? Because in our school time, so what our teacher is mentioned ABCD or 1, 2, 3, like etc. So we can copy the same type of the what is mentioned in this board. We have written the notebook or in our script also. So this is the plagiarism start. I feel that. But and after this that is for the LKG, UKG for standard up to 8th standard, not issue. But after that, we have to think of the different way, not copy the same one. Like our mathematics class also, we have copied the same one, but we have to apply for this different view or different step. Then only we can move for the research level. So this is the important point. So basically, we have the concept we have set in our mind. That is for the what are the board is available, we can take it, we can copy. So plagiarism start from this our LKG onwards. So we have to think about it. We are not the LKG student because we are the research scholars. So we have to move for the next level. So plagiarism is a plagiarism, irrespective of the intent, source, quantity, and the copyrights. So what is plagiarism? The copying from a book or article, notebook, video, or other sources material, whether the published or unpublished, without proper credit, this important word, without proper credit through the use of this quotation mark and footnotes, and other customary means of the identification source or passing of us one own the idea, words, writing, programs, and experiments of another. So whether or not such action or internal or so next one, what is the cyber plagiarism? Is important because we are in this that is network era. Wi-Fi network also available for each and every places. So very easy to get for the all the information. So cyber plagiarism is copying the idea, text, material from the web or without proper accreditation. And digital plagiarism is the term used in the describe copying using the computers. So plagiarism is considered a serious offense by your institute, by journal editor, and by the scientific community also. So plagiarism may result in academic charges, but will certainly cause rejections of your paper. So plagiarism will hurt your reputation in the scientific community. So see this example, we have the two images. It look like the same, but it has these 6 difference. But it look like the same. It's also the plagiarism. Maybe 1 or 2 it's not available in the same page. For example, the left-hand side, we have this one image. Right-hand side, we have the one image. But this look like the same image, but we have the 6 difference. But it's a plagiarism. But what is not a plagiarism? See, this is the time. And we can copy the same time. Or we are using for the formula. Or we are using for the some standard quotation. That is not a plagiarism. Because, for example, Ohm's law. Ohm's law is standard. If we had to use for the same Ohm's law, you apply for our research. Or if you're using for some mathematical, for example, A plus B whole squared, some formula like that we have. So we can use the same formula. We can mention this. That is a formula where we're taking from. So they like this, our standard format, the universal truth, it is not a plagiarism. So I want to share some information about how the plagiarism will affect the people and how the plagiarism will affect the community. See this. I think a lot of the people from this all over the country. This is one of the famous this music directors, Deva. Last 10 years before, he was very famous in this our cine industry. But he has taken a lot of the songs from this some other source. That is a plagiarism. He has taken for the plagiarism. That is, although you can check for your that is your Google, you can get for the details of the Deva music director. You know the one famous film, Basha, also the Basha film, the that is Rajani film, is also music by the Deva. But now it is not in this field. Because of this, some issues he got this and he faced a problem. So last 10 years, he was not in this field. This is an important part that I want to share here. So this is a plagiarism, how will affect the people? So say no to plagiarism. And how are paper made? Actually, we are concentrated for the only for paper because to complete the thesis, PhD thesis, we have to complete for the minimum 3 or 4 paper. So this paper is important. That's why our peoples are only concerned for the paper. So we have to cut and copy paste. We can make a one paper like that. People think that is not a honest publications. How the papers are made? So the plagiarism is made easy because the internet has made it easier for everyone the plagiarism. For example, the Google is also available. You can type everything. You can get this lot of information. You cut and copy paste. You can make a one paper. So like that the students are doing, the BTech student like our other student also. But we are the research scholar. We are registered professionally in our PhD. That's why we are not following the plagiarism. So why the people plagiarize? That is important part. We have to see that. First one, the pressure to publish for career advancement or career. Next one for the fear of the failure and lack of enforcement, the lack of knowledge. And next one is the competition. There is some colleague pressure and other pressures also. And one more important, that is laziness. And apart from that, lack of time or planning. And next one, that is for the to influence to other. So like that reasons only our peoples are plagiarized. That is a copy paste, and the people think that is I have in this year I am the that is published the paper 10 count or 12 count. So like that people think that and copy paste. The people feel that only count is important. No, so please your research scholar please note down. The count is not important. The quality is important. That's the reason only the plagiarism is important role in our research. And plagiarism include using someone else's exact words without using the quotation mark or citation. And similarly for using someone else's idea without using the citation. And using the rearrange the word from the source without the citation. This type of the plagiarism also include. And can you spot plagiarism? Consider the following exercise. Just to understand this, your idea, just I want to share some practical example. That is, this is one paragraph, starting from at the beginning and end with elsewhere. The same paragraph, the different type of the process, different type of the ideas also possible to apply for the plagiarism. The plagiarism percentage will differ. See this first example. So which of the following 5 cases are the plagiarisms? First case, the first para we have at beginning and end with elsewhere. The same one copy and paste. This is the 100% plagiarism. And second case, the same one, some rearrange the word and then you will get for the some idea, the same meaning will get. But you have taken from the same one. You have taken from the, that is what is your source one. You can rearrange the word. That is the second case. Similarly, for the third case, again, you can some rearrange and you can add some other word and you can some without meaning of this affecting the original content. You can see the, like that we have the different type of the category. Also, we have these 5 category. So each and every category we have to taken from the original source only, but is a problem as once we have to mention that is the citation you have to mention that because all the information, all the idea you have taken from the previous one. That is the original source. So that's why this plagiarism is important and you have to mention this you taken for the word or you have taken for the one single line or taken for the any idea. So you have to mention as the references or your citation. That is important in this category. And type of plagiarism we have, so word for word. For example, directly you can take it from the word or text. And similarly for the image or some other for the resources and ideas and authorship and secondary sources and self-plagiarism also another plagiarisms. So here, these are the types of plagiarism available. And type of plagiarism, we have the 4 important types. First one, complete plagiarism. I have shown this in different examples also. A piece of the work copied entirely from one or more sources. This is also complete plagiarism. And copy and paste available informations of internet or electronic journal. You can take the photo or take the some scan copy. You can attach with this paper. That is also one of these plagiarism. And if you copy the sentence or paragraph into your assignment and change the few word, it will be still be considered as to a plagiarism. That's why I have shown this some example. And one more important, that is self-plagiarism. We feel that actually what we are using the one paper, the same paper information, the same paper idea and the same paper content you can use for the second paper is again considered as a self-plagiarism. Why self-plagiarism means once you publish the paper, this is a public property. So it's also available for the all over the world. So you're not possible to take for the same word or same content. Or if you want to same information, you can take as a paragraph, you can mention that is your citation, and you can elaborate this particular things. That's considered not a plagiarism. So self-plagiarism is where when you reuse your own previously written work or data in the new assignment and do not refer it appropriately. This is a type of plagiarism. Why plagiarism is a bad thing means because it is influence academic ethics and academic norms. Because it is a form of theft and type of fraud, because the plagiarists ultimately cheat themselves, and because the plagiarists cheat their fellow student, and because the plagiarism reflect incompetence. So avoiding plagiarism through the good scholarly practice. So you can write your own idea, you can search more, you can get the more idea. So you can practice starting from this. You are the correct stage because you are the first year. You can start with the practice from your good scholar practice. So avoiding plagiarism, one way to avoid the plagiarism is reading something and putting into your own words. There is an important one. So take your idea, some other things or some other that is article, then putting into your own words. That is another plagiarism. And another way is to credit to author what you read and not taking the credit for it. And using the quotation is another way of avoiding plagiarism. For example, if you're using for the Ohm's law or if you're using for some formula, you can use for the quotation. That is not a plagiarism. Already I have mentioned. So at the beginning of the first sentence in which you quote, then summarize, make it the clear what come next in the someone else idea. For example, I have mentioned some link also. So like that we could use for the some reference you can use. So if you are worried about being accused of the plagiarism, your best defense is do your own work. Keep careful track of your source and notes. Understand everything you have written. Finally, acknowledge those who contribute to your work. So this is we have to follow. This is ethics for our thesis. And avoiding plagiarism, we have to attribute the references and give the acknowledgements, use quotation mark whether required, and paraphrase the original attribute work, and for extensive quotation, obtain permission from the publisher of the original work. Avoid self-plagiarism by taking the permission from the publisher of the previous article authors by you, because once you publish your paper, the publisher will take care of your paper. So you can, that is, you can get your own idea, or you want to the same information to reflect in the third paper or fourth paper also. First, you get the proper permission from the publisher, then you can use. That is not an issue. So obtain permission for use of published and drawing or other illustrations. So punishment is a lot of the punishment the people is affected because of the plagiarism. I will show some example. So plagiarism may result in serious sanctions, including public disclosure, loss of research funding, loss of professional status, and terminations of the employment, and legal action against the individuals and committing plagiarism. So that's the reason only plagiarism is always important. And real life consequence, just I want to share. Here the Professor B.S. Rajput VC from the Common University and colleagues in the field of theoretical physics had to resign after being found guilty of copying from the paper published by the Standard University scientist. Similarly, for the C.K. Raju George and former president of the Royal Society UK of plagiarism are claiming the inappropriate credit to some of his previously published ideas. And similarly, for the famous song that is John Bond is nearly the $400 billion for the plagiarism of songs lyrics, and Columbia historian stepping down after the plagiarism finding. And similarly, for the Rangasamy and colleagues from the group Dr. Kobal have the misrepresented data in the paper published in the Journal of Biology Chemistry. The allegations was that they had rehashed the same set of data which they had published earlier. And similarly, for the lot of the examples also available in our real life consequence. And this is the one of the important part, just I want to share here. So our people feel that only the text is copying is the copy. No, you are copying for the one image, that's also the plagiarism. So for example, in this paper, this work appears the duplicate to other work. For example, this title is different, the journal is different, but this image is same. So this also is plagiarism. So like that, we're using for the, if we're using the figure in the same paper, the figure 4C is show for the some one example, and figure 5B is another example. The same example cut and pasted as the image, that is also considered as plagiarism. So you have to more. So for another more example, the original image, you can change the color, or you can change some context, or change for the brightness. This also considered as the plagiarism. Similarly, for the half of the part is you can take from these cut, copy, paste method. This also considered as the plagiarism. So real life consequence. So be warning. So beware. You maybe find your name and photo if you are using for the plagiarisms. So stop plagiarism. So plagiarism deductions here. The manual deduction require the substantial effort and excellent memory, but computer assist deductions allow vast collections of documents to be compared to each other. So multiple submissions save you time but waste editor and reviewer's time. So use database to find if your results are new and originals. So our crustaceans, particularly our research scholar, not use any plagiarism. So say no to plagiarism is intellectual theft. So anti-plagiarism tools also available in our that is open source also available. The left hand side is mentioned that is a different type of the plagiarism checkers tools also available. So before publishing any paper, before go to communicate for any paper, first check your whole paper. In this, our some online plagiarism tools are available. Is a free tools also available in our website. That is in our Google Meet. Then you can check with this your Google. Then lot of the plagiarism also available. Plagiarism checker tools are available. You can check your own article. Then find out what is the practical problem, what is your plagiarism percentage. Then you can change or rearrange or elaborate your sentence based on this research work. Then you can move for the next level. So next level means in our institute, we are using for the 10 plagiarism software. As I will explain later. There is a 10 plagiarism software we are using for the professional software. This is a #1 plagiarism software in the world. So we are using this same that is 10 plagiarism software. So in this plagiarism software, in the right hand side is using for that is where the we have spent some amount of money to get this some plagiarism tool. So leading plagiarism deduction tool in the academic space we are using for the 10, Urkun, and for the plag scan. Similarly, for the business point of view, in business leading tool detecting and preventing plagiarism, we are using for the copyscapes and distill networks and plag scan and authenticate. So like that, we have the different types of plagiarism tools also available. And select the best journal for the submission. So far we have what we have discussed. That is for the first one, what is the that is your PhD program flow. Next one, what is the importance of the ethics, and what is the importance of plagiarism. If you use the plagiarisms, and what is the problem will come, how we can avoid. So these are the type we have so far we have discussed. And next one, we are moving for the select the best journal for submission. Just to overview, just I want to share some important idea, because in our thesis, in our research work, the publication is most important. So how the viewer thinking, how we have to write, and how we have to communicate. That's point that I want to cover the remaining session. So now on first one for the that is for our review recent publication each candidate journal, find out the hot topic and accept type of the article. So before start your or communicate your article, ask yourself the following questions. Is the journal is a peer review? Who is the journal's audience? What is the average time to print? And what is the journal's impact factor? Decide on one journal, don't submit the multiple journal. Some plagiarism issue will come, and again the communication gap and another communicate problem will come. So to avoid that, decide one journal, you select the good journal and decide one journal you can communicate. And similarly for the, so what make a good manuscript? So contain a clear, useful and existing scientific message and flows in the logical manner that reader can follow, is a formatted to best showcase the material, is written the style that translates the message clearly. It is all about the reader. So because once you completed all the things and move for the different reader, different country, different viewers. So each and every viewers and every reader, you give them some different opinion. So before go to this any paper, you have to check for the each and every stage. So writing the good manuscript is not easy. Be prepared to work hard on it. So that's why there is no secret receipt for the success, just some simple rules or dedication or hard work. So editor and reviewer are also busy scheduled, and all are the busy scientists like you. So make the easy to save the time. That's why you have to prepare the good manuscript without any plagiarisms. So the reviewer and editorial process. So you can move for or you can apply for the paper acceptance. A lot of the struggle you have to face. So most scientists regarded the new streamlined peer review process with quite an improvement. So a lot of the comments you will get after the submission of this article, then the paper only accepted. So you have to consider for the 4-part in the journal editor view, the uploaded resource or the plagiarisms. So we have the totally for the 4 category. First one, public notice of plagiarism and ban future of the submissions to journal from plagiarist. And third one, notify the plagiarism department chair. And fourth one, notify the original author. So we have the journal's editor. The first one, the public notice plagiarism, see the definitely 30% and likely 17% and not likely 15% or not at all 19%. And similarly for the ban future submission of the journal from the plagiarist, that is for the definitely 42% and likely 36% and not likely 22% and not at all 1%. Similarly for the notice of plagiarism department chair, Definitely 24%, likely 23%, and not likely 42%, and not at all 1%. Finally, that is for the notify the original author. Here is important. Definitely is 17%. So the likely is 90%, not likely 80%, 2% for not at all. So the journal editor's view is important. The same you have to set your mind. So you can prepare your journal, you prepare your paper and article, everything based on this four category. And submission is not a black hole. So we have three stages of this your paper. First one the author, and second one the editor, and third one the reviewer. The author, that is we are the author, so you have to start submit the paper. Once completed all the progress, submit the paper. The move for the editor side, the basic requirement is met. If yes means move to the assignment reviewer, otherwise rejected. So once the assigned reviewer, the reviewer gives us some recommendations or comment, then collect the reviewers and comment and make the decision is accepted or rejected. If the based on these recommendations of the reviewer, if accepted means again move for the reviewers paper, then again you submit the paper. So this progress we have to follow for the each and every paper communication for the journal. And revision after the submission, so carefully study the comment and prepare the detailed letter of the response. So quality for the selections of the paper, how this paper is qualified, there is quality paper or quality. That is, the editor reviewer of all scholarly journals look for the following. First, originality. What is new about subject? Second one, relevance. To and extents of the existing knowledge. Then research methodology or conclusion valid and objective. Clarity, structure, and quality of the writing. And a sound logical progression. Then currency. Last one, the compliance. So like that, the people editor are expecting from our side. So important to remember, this preparation is important, but do not spend too much time on your preparations. Submit the right journal, scope and prestige. Submit one journal only. Check the English. Pay the attention to structure. Pay attention to journal requirement. Be honest. So this is the important to remember for the communicating in this our journal. So the conclusion for the first part, there is the first sessions of this my overall view. So final steps addressing plagiarism problems are acknowledge the problem, universally define plagiarism, increase its awareness among the masses, and prevent, that is, create an academic integrity policy and adjust assignment, develop the method for catching and screening, be a good role model. So this is the first part of our that is my presentation. The second part just I want to take for this plagiarism tool, particularly for the 10 how it is work.